They listened. وَأَطَعْنَا, and they obeyed. They obeyed. So they responded to Allah. So that was the condition of the Sahaba. How do we know, first of all, what does Allah want from us? Allah is so great. The way He explains things to us in the Quran is very unique. He talks about many things. What we are interested in here is how can we respond to Allah in terms of fulfilling our duties and obligations toward Him. Basically, that's what it boils down to. That is a big question. And the whole Quran answers that question. What are our obligations and duties toward Allah? And if we were to answer that, we would have to go through the whole Quran and pick the ayat and the awamir and the ahkam and then say this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala requires of us to do. But because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so great, He gave us a summary of our obligations and duties toward Him. A summary, 2 ayat, summarizes the whole thing. And that summary you find in Surah Al-Hajj. The last part of Surah Al-Hajj, addressing the believers. The section started out with Ya ayyuhan nasu duriba mathalun fastami'u lah. We talked about that part. Oh people, an example had been presented to you, so listen to it. Those whom you call besides Allah will not be able to create flies. Now what was that call? That call was a call to Iman to all mankind. Believe in me. Don't you associate nothing with me. Ya ayyuhan nas. Remember what Abdullah ibn Mas'ud said? Every time you read Ya ayyuhan nas, pay attention. Every time you read Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, pay attention. So the first part of that ruku' is reserved to humanity. Oh mankind, this is a call to Iman. Believe in me. I will answer you. But then the second part is specifically directed toward the believers. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اركعوا واسجدوا واعبدوا ربكم وافعلوا الخير لعلكم تفلحون وجاهدوا في الله حق جهاده. This is the summary. In a nutshell, this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to do. If you respond to Him, if you respond to this call of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah is ready to respond to your call and answer your dua. O you who believe, bow and prostrate before your Lord. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu rka'u wasjudu. Number 2, wa'abudu rabbakum. Make ibadah to your Lord. وَافْعَلُوا الْخَيْرَ لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ. Number 3, do good to others so you may prosper. And finally, make jihad in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَجَاهِدُوا فِي اللَّهِ حَقَّ جِهَادِهِ. Strive and struggle in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what Allah wants you to do. If you respond to that, Allah will respond to you. But you cannot respond to only one of them. Practicing Muslims, generally speaking, are responding 25% only. If you want to divide those 4 requirements equally, which I don't. But to be fair, if you want to divide these 4 requirements, obligations, duties equally, practicing Muslims are responding mostly to only 25% to the first item. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu rka'u wasjudu. Meaning fulfill your religious obligations, your worships, modes of worship. Pray, pay zakah, fast, go to hajj. This is what it means, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu rka'u wasjudu. This is what the ulama taught us. We don't have time to explain and go in detail. But what next? Ibadah. We have confused ibadah with these ibadat, modes of worship. Ibadah is something else. Ibadah is to submit your whole will to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To accept Allah as your master. To become a slave for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can't be picking and choosing, just praying and fasting, paying zakat, going for hajj, and then everything else is according to your own hawa and desires. You can't do that. Your transactions are haram, everything you do is haram, yet you are praying, you're giving sadaqah. You can't do it. This is not ibadah. This is making mockery of the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the second thing, ibadah. You submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you become His slave. Number 3, وَافْعَلُوا الْخَيْرَ لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ. Go out and seek individuals, others, your brothers and sisters, not in faith, in humanity, and make da'wah to them, call them to the path of Allah. لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ, so you may prosper. And finally, make jihad in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Struggle in the path of Allah so that He is supreme in this world. This is what we need to do. If you respond to His call, He is ready to respond to your needs. He is ready to respond to what you are asking of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now let's come to the other part. So فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي, then let them respond to me. وَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي, now let them believe in me. So first, responding to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Second, to believe in me. وَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْشُدُونَ. To believe in Allah. It is our practice to give a lip service that we believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when in reality, some of us, I don't know what the percentage is, I hate to say that, perhaps the majority truly don't believe in Him. This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in so many places in the Quran, O you who believe, believe. O you who believe, believe in me, in my messenger, in the book I sent. And here in this place, وَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي, let them, emphasis, let them believe in me. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَقُولُ آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ وَبِالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ وَمَا هُمْ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. You find individuals, believers, Muslims supposedly, who say, we believe in Allah, I will believe in His messenger, we believe in the akhirah. Allah said, but they are not believers. Now how do we know that we collectively, I'm talking about the ummah collectively, do not possess the real faith that is required? Simply because of the devastating humiliation we Muslims are going through nowadays. Because had we truly believed in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in no way Allah will permit these conditions to the believers. How could that happen? Think about it for a moment. It is illogical. It just doesn't make any sense. If I truly believe in Allah, Allah, will He destroy me? It just goes against what He taught me. But as the Prophet said, you extend your hands and you say, Ya Rab, Ya Rab, and everything you do is haram. Well, how is Allah going to respond to you? Similarly, this ummah, we say, Ya Rab, Ya Rab, we say, oh Allah, we believe in you, yet we do everything against His Sharia, against His book, against everything He asks us to do. And then we expect Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be kind to us? Well, it just doesn't work this way. We have no iman, none whatsoever, collectively, in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a lip service only. This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al Imran explained the condition. He says, وَلَا تَهِنُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ إِن كُنْتُمْ مُؤْمِنِينَ. He says, have no fear, have no anxiety. You will have the upper hand if you are truly believers. If you truly believe, we will give you the upper hand. Your conditions will be great here in this world. Inshallah, I will continue, take a few minutes next week to wrap up this lesson, and we'll continue with Ayat al-Siyam, and we'll conclude بإذن الله تعالى. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين والمسلمات فاستغفروه. بارك الله لي ولكم في القرآن العظيم ونفعني وإياكم بالآيات والذكر الحكيم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.